And
now at 5:30, Lexington police say they've caught a cable worker who exposed himself to a child while he was working for the child's family.
Also on WKYT this morning, police tell us that a shooting led them to discover a marijuana growing operation in Lexington. We'll tell you who's been arrested.
Lexington police still investigating several unsolved homicides from the year. These stories and breaking news as it happens coming up on WKYT this morning.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning to you and welcome. It's so nice to have you on WKYT on this Thursday. We're a week away from Christmas Day now. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Rebecca Smith. Hard to believe. I've said it for the last 2 weeks, though. Hard to believe it's so close.
Closer and closer. Yeah, a lot of folks still scrambling to get their shopping done, that sort of thing. But time to relax is coming. And we do want to check in with meteorologist Micah Harris, who is tracking weather. Don't know if we're going to be able to relax on watching that the next few days.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. I mean, today we're going to have flakes to the south. Then we go towards Saturday and we have another shot at it. Then toward that Christmas holiday, yeah, there's another shot at it. So it's going to be one after another, taking a little bit of a break in between. First Alert Defender Live Radar, you got to work your way south and southwest. That gives us some mix down toward the south and southwest. Now, it's not much, and you won't get much out of this, but a coating, yeah, it's possible as you work your way across the Cumberland Parkway, so heads up for that. Temperatures are in the 20s. It's cold enough to have anything stick outside, but really it's that 5% of our area down toward the southwest that we're really going to be watching. The rest of us, cloudy, cold, 35 by the afternoon. We go in toward tomorrow morning, another frigid start. And then we look toward the weekend. What about this system now? Because the past couple of days it's been trending weaker. Is that still the case? Well, I'll show you that off toward Christmas holiday, too, coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, see you in just a bit. Here's the latest now from WKYT.
New this morning, Lexington police arrested a man they say was working for a cable company when they say he exposed himself to a child while doing repair work.
Police say 32-year-old Bradley Brooks was working for Time Warner Cable back in July when the incident supposedly took place. WKYT's Mark Barber is live now from District Court with the details. Mark, good morning.
Good morning, Bill and Rebecca. This is a case that could be disturbing for the tens of thousands of Time Warner Cable customers in the area. A man who is working for the cable company is accused of touching himself inappropriately in front of a 7-year-old girl while he was working in her home. According to an arrest citation, it happened back on July 10th when a mother asked her daughter to take a cable router to Bradley Brooks, the man who was working for the cable company, in their basement. The mother says when the girl came out of the basement, she was acting very differently. According to the arrest warrant, during a forensic interview, the girl said Brooks exposed himself to her and then touched himself inappropriately. When police interviewed the 32-year-old man, he claimed that was not the case. Instead, he told officers he had an inappropriate picture of himself on his phone. Brooks says he left it near the girl and she must have seen the picture. Now, Brooks was arrested around 10:15 yesterday morning after he was involved in a car crash near Midland and East 2nd Street. Investigators say he was under the influence of drugs when he collided with another car. Brooks is charged with first-degree sexual abuse and operating a motor vehicle under the influence. He's scheduled to appear in court today for an arraignment. Now, even though it's early, we have calls into Time Warner Cable to see how long Brooks had been working for them, what neighborhoods he visited, and if there are any other complaints that were lodged against him during his service. Live in Lexington, Mark Barber, WKYT.
All right, Mark, thank you. We'll continue to track down that information. It's 5:34 now, and a man is facing charges in Rowan County after police say he exposed himself to a child in a shopping center parking lot.
Moorhead police arrested 26-year-old Justin Thornton of Salt Lick. They say a girl called police very early Tuesday morning to report Thornton. Police say when they found him in the Moorhead Plaza parking lot, he smelled heavily of alcohol and was slurring his speech. They also found a butcher knife and duct tape in his car. He's charged with indecent exposure and DUI.
New this morning, police say a shooting last week has led to the discovery now of a marijuana growing operation. Officers
arrested Donsid Cook, Jasmine Gregory, and James Kendrick for growing several marijuana plants at a home on Manhattan Drive. WKYT's Whitney Wetzel is live from there with the latest developments in these cases.
Good morning. This is the home where the marijuana grow was found, and it's also the same location where a man was shot just last week. Take a look at this video. This was the scene from that shooting. Police say 2 men broke into this home on Manhattan Drive and shot the victim, Ben Sharp, in the leg. He was taken to the hospital, but then to jail for drug-related charges. This morning, we've learned that 3 more people have also been arrested in connection to those drugs that were found inside the home following that shooting. Jasmine Gregory, James Kendrick and Donst Cook are all facing charges after police found 8 marijuana plants, a grow tent, and some other drug paraphernalia inside of the home. There was also a toddler living inside the house at the time. As a result, these 3 are charged with marijuana cultivation, wanton endangerment, and drug paraphernalia. They'll be arraigned on those charges this afternoon. Live in Lexington, Whitney Watzel, WKYT.
We are tracking the investigation this morning into a robbery at a Lexington home. Happened about 8:30 last night along Burley Avenue. Police say 3 men showed up at a home armed with 2 guns and stole electronics from the people inside. Police say after the robbers left, the victims followed them to the Lex Apartments on South Broadway. Police searched that apartment complex but did not find the robbers. Police think everyone involved knew each other.
With 2 weeks left in this year, Lexington police say they still have 7 unsolved homicides for the year. Police say that is a higher number than usual, but the number of total homicides, 17, is just below the city's yearly average. Police say they've had a hard time finding clues in the unsolved homicides.
In some of the recent cases that we've had this year, people are afraid to give us information, to come forward with leads, tips, anything that they may have in any knowledge of a case.
Lexington police are again asking for your help as they continue searching for suspects in those crimes. They say beginning next year they will put all of the city's unsolved homicide cases since 1974 on their Facebook page and on their website.
Investigators are trying to figure out what led to the deaths of an elderly Western Kentucky couple. Police say 84-year-old Nancy Coomer and 86-year-old Albert Coomer were both found dead in their Muhlenberg County home yesterday morning. Both suffered gunshot wounds, but police say there's no indication anyone forced their way into the home before this happened. They also say the couple had health issues.
A Lexington man will be learning his sentence today after pleading guilty to manslaughter in the death of his infant son. Court workers tell us that Kaz Hasuga admitted to second-degree manslaughter after first being charged with murder. His 28-day-old son died last November. Lexington police say he slammed the baby's head against a counter. Prosecutors are recommending a 6-year sentence for Hasuga.
Well, workers at a Lincoln County store have a big mess to clean up because of a crash. Happened at the Valero gas station on US 27 in Stanford. Police tell us a woman in the parking lot hit the gas pedal instead of the brake. That car ended up crashing into the store, as you can see from these eyewitness photos. No one was injured, we're told, in that crash.
Boston bombing suspect Dzhokhar Tsarnaev will be in a federal courtroom today for the first time in nearly a year and a half. This will be his final hearing before his trial is set for next month. Tsarnaev could face the death penalty if he's convicted in the bombings, which killed 3 people and injured hundreds. He has pleaded not guilty, and jury selection for his trial starts on January 5th.
Well, a big development in this story. Sony has canceled next week's planned release of The Interview. This comes after most of the nation's biggest theater chains chose not to air the movie due to September 11th type threats from hackers. The comedic movie centers on an assassination attempt on North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un. An announcement could come later today on what the U.S. plans to do in response to the hack.
President Obama has announced that he will ease sanctions imposed against Cuba after the country agreed to release American aid worker Alan Gross. Gross has spent the last 5 years in a Cuban prison for attempting to set up internet. The agreement will deliver the most sweeping changes in U.S. policy towards Cuba since the embargo started in the 1960s. Former President Jimmy Carter says he thinks the move was long overdue.
In a country where we impose sanctions, it's almost impossible to imagine that the dictators themselves or their immediate staff or their top friends are going to be suffering economically. They've got all they want. I've been to the home of both Raul Castro and also Fidel Castro in the last few years, and they're not suffering at all. But the 11 million people of Cuba suffer.
While easing sanctions would allow for easier travel between countries, exporting Cuban goods to the U.S. is not in the works just yet.
Well, Christmas is just a week away, and as you're buying any last-minute gifts, it may help to know some of the most commonly returned items and gifts. According to a study posted on PRinside.com, 74% of people say they will return clothing. Other often returned items include home decorations and beauty or fragrance products. Good ideas for presents, electronics, and jewelry is always a good bet. Only about 2% of people will return jewelry.